How's it going, guys? I'm going to jump straight into this intro. I'm going to be honest, I am actually filming this 2 weeks after the actual footage was taken for this video, and it's because I'm piecing it together now and I realized my intro was just too long and I ranted too much. So I'm going to just redo it super quick. First things first, thank you guys so much for getting me 200 subs. If you are subbed, thank you so much. And if you're not, please consider subscribing. Let's get myself to 200, that'd be incredible. Also check me out on Instagram at jfernvisions. And pretty much what we're gonna be doing in today's video is Pete's Pirate Life posted weeks ago a photo of his Ford Raptor in a forest with dark and moody tones, and it just looked super dope. And I want to recreate it because I normally don't go for dark and moody tones, but it kind of gave me the inspiration to do something similar. So I'm going to put the original photo up here, and I'm going to put what I ended up with on the other corner. And yeah, so this is pretty much what this video is going to be about. Just a disclaimer, the next part of this video, which is like sort of like a little vlog, it was a little overexposed, a little shaky. It just didn't look that good, but it's because I'm not used to vlogging, especially with this camera. And I was like so focused on photos and like, it was just a mess, but they'll be better in the future if I do another styled video like this. And then for the editing portion, it's not really a tutorial because I wasn't really explaining what I was doing exactly to detail. It was more just like a walkthrough of like how I was editing it and getting as close as possible to the product that I wanted. But with that being said, enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Okay guys, so I'm already at the location and I just shot the B-roll sequence you just saw before this. I kind of wanted to get that out of the way first just because I wanted better light for that than I do the photos. Hope you enjoyed it. And now I'm driving on a loop road, which is in Big Cypress, Florida. If you know where that is, if you're from the area, super cool road. It's legit just a dirt road for miles. And it's super relaxing and super chill. It's not a crazy dirt road. It's legit just like a dirt road that connects like two parts of US 41. And when I get there, I'll kind of show you more of what I'm shooting. I'm shooting on one camera, photo and video, so it's kind of hard to do both at the same time, but I'll do my best. But just to kind of talk through really quick what I think about when I'm shooting cars, specifically when I'm in a location like this where there's not a specific like cityscape in the background or a specific background, it's really just one road and, you know, one trail. There's not much you could really do, in my opinion. And so kind of what I do, and I do the same thing with portraits as well, I kind of start close. I start with some close-up shots, then I'll take some steps back, do some medium shots, and then I'll do some wide shots. Let me just show you guys the road really quick. What loop road looks like, super relaxing, super chill, and it's just a fun drive to do very casually. So I just got to the location I want to shoot at specifically. Here's the little pullout that I was talking about, and honestly, after I get these shots that I want to get here, I'm going to move my car over there into the water and then get some reflective shots, which I love doing. So here's a shot, and essentially the way I'm going to work this is I'm going to throw on the 85mm, and then I'm going to take shots just head on. I'm probably going to straighten the car a little bit more. And I'm just going to get shots head on here, probably go to the other side, get shots from the rear end as well, and then probably move the car sideways after that, and then get kind of sideways shots of the wheels facing me. And overall, you know, a location like this, there's not much you can really do. Just kind of working with your leading lines and the symmetry. We have some really nice light right now, which I'm really happy about. I got here just in time. So I'm gonna go ahead and crank these photos out. I'm gonna throw on my 85mm and shoot. All right guys, so I already got these set of shots over here, the ones I showed you before. I ended up only keeping the car straight because I wanted to move over here really quick and get shots sideways. This is a shot that I always love to look for. I've taken shots in the past in my old car, my BRZ, similar to this in a parking lot that was flooded. And what I love about it, you always get a really cool reflection, and that reflection allows you to get really creative and just kind of add more. It just allows you to add like a really cool element to your photos. I mean, I love reflections, whether it's for cars or people or city shots, whatever it is. So I moved my car here. I got shots with the 85mm. I'm gonna get shots right now with the 24mm, kind of keep it wide. So I think that's gonna conclude my shoot. I'm probably gonna drive a couple other places, take some shots here and there, but I think I'm done with the car for now. But overall, this has been really fun, really nice, and honestly, the weather, like I mentioned earlier, is just beautiful. You know, right now it's like 69 degrees, about 68 degrees, and Got this super nice scenery over here in Big Cypress, Florida, and honestly in Florida this is some of the best scenery you can get, and it's just really nice to be out here. So with that being said, let's get back to the studio. This is a week and a half later. It was a super busy week with work and editing, and I had a ton of shoots, and I just haven't been able to really look at these photos and edit this video and make this part. But finally I've been able to get to it. This was after I recorded. I was driving out of this area, and then I found a spot that was just so perfect for the photo that I really wanted to capture, and the main reason I came out to shoot. And here's a wide shot of it. It's just like a little bit taller trees than the first spot I was at, and it was just like more tree coverage and pine trees, and I mean, I don't know what type of trees these are. Back to editing. I've already edited this one. So like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, Peter Mckinnon posted that one photo, and I was like, I want to recreate this. And originally I wanted to do it with my friend who has a big black truck similar to Peter McKinnon's Raptor. And I was like, let me just go out with this car and do it and see what I can get. And I'm going to put the photo up on the screen, and I don't have it in front of me. And I probably should, but I'm recording through my lav mic to my phone. So this is where I came to, and I'm going to show you guys how I got here, sort of. And again, I don't think this is like identical to the Peter McKinnon style, and his was a little bit more foggy and a little bit different of an environment. But I think I got kind of close, and I'm just going to show you guys how I got here. And just a disclaimer, I'm not trying to copy Peter McKinnon, and I do this every once in a while. Well, I'll quote unquote copy an editing style that somebody is doing, or even a shooting style. And I think it's important to do this, especially if you're a beginner photographer, you're still early on in your career like I am, where you know, you do have a really good foundation and you want to start experimenting and getting a little bit more creative. It's cool to really see what other people are doing and try to, you know, give it your own twist, or just even copy it just so you can learn the editing style. And so, you know, I don't know exactly how Peter McKinnon edited this, and I'm sure somebody with more Lightroom knowledge and editing knowledge can tell you like, oh, this is exactly how he did it. But I just did my best to get as close to it as I thought, or as close as I wanted to get to it, really. So with that being said, I have a virtual copy, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I got there. I'm probably going to go back and forth a couple times just to kind of show you, but kind of a general step-by-step of what I did. First thing I always do is profile corrections, chromatic aberration, you know, just basics, whatever. And I'm going to just auto this to make it level, and that looks good. What I pretty much first started with was just playing around with the S-curve. And I'm pretty sure I got somewhere like this, raised this a little bit at the end just to make it a little bit more flat. And I think this is a good starting point to then really start editing it. And then the next thing I'm probably gonna do is the white balance, just to give it a little bit more warmness. Usually when you're shooting in like trees like this, you know, sometimes the shadows can get really cool, and you can get some blues in the shadows. Really with the Canon, that doesn't have it to be that much. Usually when I used to shoot Sony, I would get like greens and blues all the time in my shadows, and I hated it. But I still just made it a little bit warmer. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is just bring the highlights down for multiple reasons, just to get some of this details in the light, and bring out some of the details at the top of the tree. So if you see here how it was normally, bring it all the way down, and you can see a little bit more of the trees. And I just like the way it looks a little bit better. My sky is blown out, which is good, because in the photo that Peter had, it was also blown out. You really couldn't see detail in the sky at all. And then I am going to bring up my shadows. I'm going to bring up my shadows, and I'm probably going to drop my blacks, I think is what I ended up doing. So I'll probably bring it up to like 84, 85, I think is what I had it at before. And then I'm going to drop my blacks a pretty good amount. And I'm going to drop my clarity about like -20, just to give it a little bit more of like that fogginess and a little bit like that dreamlike feel. It didn't really do much. I'll just kind of show you before and after. So here's before, here's after. It kind of smooths everything out a little bit, and I kind of like the way that looks, especially around the headlights. It kind of makes it look a little bit more like foggy and just less like contrasty. So I think that's a good starting point for the exposure. And then I'm going to come down to my colors and just kind of play around. I'm going to drop my yellows down all the way to kind of bring out all of these like orange tones at the top of the trees instead of having them yellow. I always love like just orange and blue tones. My car has like that blue tone to it, so I think that looks good. The only issue I have whenever I do this with my car is that this front logo, I'll go before and after. Usually it's more yellow, and then this makes it more orange, but I could probably correct it later on in Photoshop if I wanted to. And I'm going to also bring my greens down quite a bit, just make them, you know, pretty much all orange. And I think I'm going to increase the luminance a bit on the greens as well. So I'm going to come down to my split toning and just make this image even more warm. And in my highlights, I'm going to pretty much be leaving like the orange yellow area and just bump it up a little bit, probably around like 20 to start. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the shadows, which is going to have more of an impact here for sure. And I'm probably going to leave that down at like 10. I think that looks good. Next thing I'm going to do, everything's looking good right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a graduated filter to kind of get a little bit of this vignette going. If you look at the Peter Mckinnon photo, if I remember correctly, pretty much every corner of the image was dark. So I'm going to bring the exposure probably half a stop. And then I'm also going to bring graduated filters from both sides and decrease them as well. And like this is already looking, it's not necessarily the same colors or anything like that, but it's definitely the same vibe as that Peter Mckinnon one. And I think I can definitely make this a little bit warmer. Oh yeah, I like the way that looks a lot. I like the way it looks warmer a lot, actually. I like this intense like orange color up here behind the car. And it really just like connects with the headlights really nicely. So I think one of the last things I'm going to do is I'm going to darken this entire area under the car where you can see the gravel. I'm just going to turn that into one big shadow. And I think that overall looks really good and pretty similar to the Peter Mckinnon photo. I'll show you, this is the one I just did. This is the one I did earlier. And they're pretty close. I think I like the one I just did right now better. I think my S-curve is a little different. Yeah, I reversed my S-curve on the one I just did, and this one looks a little bit too flat on the car. This one looks really good, actually. So I like this a lot better. I don't know. I'm usually not into these dark, moody edits when it comes to car photography. Usually with cars, I like to like bring out a lot of colors, a lot of blues and a lot of oranges, and especially recently I've been just obsessing over blue edits for some reason. But I think it was fun to just kind of copy and get inspiration from someone like Peter Mckinnon and do an edit like this, especially when instead of using a large Raptor, I'm using my little Subaru Crosstrek. But so I'm going to put on the screen right now a few of the other edits that I did from the other shots and kind of show you some of my favorites. And have a few different edits probably throughout them. I haven't edited them yet, but I will. And you know, I'll probably do different edits for different photos. I'm not going to do them all like this. I love the way this looks, actually. It's not necessarily my style, but I'm definitely going to be posting this. I mentioned in the beginning of the video, follow me on J for Envisions. That's my photography account. But if you want to see more Crosstrek photos, for whatever reason, I do have an account for my car. It's called @UrbanTrek, URBNTRKK maybe. I'm going to put it up on the screen. If you're into car photography and this car specifically, which I doubt most of you are, but if you are, I'd appreciate it if you follow that as well. I want to post that on there. And if you go there and you see this, please give it a like and comment on it like, oh, I came from YouTube. And like, it'll be cool to see if anyone actually does come, because I doubt most of you actually care about Crosstreks like, you know, I do. But anyways, I'm going to conclude the video here. I hope you enjoyed this style of video. It was like kind of a photo vlog, but it probably was super messy. I haven't really looked at the footage, but I'm sure it was like all over the place because like I'm not used to it really, and it's hard to take photos and vlog at the same time. So I wish I can show you more. Maybe in the future I can think of something to maybe do some POV, you know, photography or stuff like that, which is a big thing on YouTube right now. But with that being said, I'm going to conclude the video, and I think that's the second time I've said that. But I appreciate you for watching. I think that is all I have to say. Shout out Peter Mckinnon for the inspiration on this. And create and repeat, guys. Follow me on Instagram, J for Envisions. Like, comment, and subscribe. I would appreciate it so much. We passed 100 subs. The road to 200 begins now. Thank you, guys. Good night.